Right now at 7, President Biden taking to the podium at any moment to talk about new debt legislation he's signing into law. What else is in the last-minute deal?
Players speaking out today about a racial slur used on the soccer pitch, what they say needs to happen next.
Whose weekend evening plans could be impacted by scattered rain or storms. Plus, the new model tracks for newly formed Tropical Storm Arlene.
Taking a live look at the White House, where any moment now President Biden will make his first Oval Office address on the debt ceiling deal. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ashley Rowe.
And I'm Dan Haggerty. The president's speech is expected to center on how the bipartisan effort successfully averted economic crisis before signing the measure into law. We will, of course, bring you updates during this newscast. As we now transition to a live look at Beaufort, gorgeous on a night like tonight. Of course, we are tracking, though, the chance for some storms and showers for your Saturday.
And we officially have our first named storm of the season. Tropical Storm Arlene is churning in the Gulf. Meteorologist Kat Campbell is in the WRAL Severe Weather Center with what you need to know for your weekend, Kat.
First thing, the weekend doesn't look terrible. There will be a chance for rain tomorrow, but it's not going to be a washout weekend by any means. You've got plenty of dry time tomorrow. We're not expecting any rain early in the day. It's not until we get to the evening that we have a chance of an isolated shower or thunderstorm, and that still would mainly be in the western part of our viewing area. Futurecast tomorrow morning showing some clouds, maybe fog in the eastern half of our area. Plenty of sunshine lunchtime into the afternoon, and that should heat us up. 89, the hottest day so far this year. By 5 o'clock, some showers possible, mainly from Raleigh points north and west, and new model guidance continues to steer these showers and storms to the west of Raleigh. We'll keep an eye on those for you tomorrow evening. We're also watching Tropical Storm Arlene, not expected to impact the U.S. at all, or this weekend, of course. It is about 240 miles west of Fort Myers, still tracking slowly to the south-southeast. And as it continues to move in this direction, it's moving into in an environment with a lot of wind shear, and that should help to kind of tear the system apart. So further weakening is expected on that one. I'll have a closer look at what to expect on Sunday behind a front coming up.
Okay, Kat, thank you.
This is the first Oval Office speech for President Joe Biden. Speaking within the past couple of minutes, he is talking on that debt ceiling deal that just was coming across his desk late last night. He's expected to sign it into law over the weekend. We're going to listen in and bring you the very latest from the president here in just a moment, and live updates for you in the Live Center. Back to you.
All right, we'll check back in with you, Mark. Thank you. Soccer players taking a knee today after an incident at the soccer tournament in Cary and a racial slur that was alleged. At the end of yesterday's game between Dallas United and West Ham United, a Dallas player directed a racial slur at a West Ham player. And this, we saw some fallout because of this. Dallas eventually withdrawing from the competition. WRAL's Shelley Jackson was there today as West Ham returned to the pitch.
Today, West Ham returned to the pitch. We're also hearing from a couple of Nubel's teammates. Their message, racism won't be tolerated. Today, players and fans speaking out against racism on the soccer pitch.
In the beginning of the game, they took a knee. That was the first team that I've ever seen do that. So it was really nice for them to do.
Dallas United withdrew from the tournament after someone on the team directed a racial slur at West Ham's Frank Nubel, number 24.
I don't need to get into the nuts and bolts of what was said, but what was said was enough for the action to be what it was.
West Ham defender Anton Ferdinand led the team off the pitch. Today, he says the issue is bigger than football.
We won't stop fighting. We won't stop fighting, but the most important thing, I think, the message is, it's just not ethnic minority people's fight. It's everybody's fight. You need to speak about it the same way I speak about it.
John Muger, CEO of the soccer tournament, says Dallas United violated the tournament's code of conduct.
This is a fiercely competitive format, and it does not exist or survive unless we stand in support and provide a safe playing environment for our teams.
In the stands, West Ham fans bringing the love for their team.
To see the way that the fans were out there today, that's what kept us going.
Shouldn't be here, period. Let's keep it out of the game.
It's wrong. I mean, it has no place. Everybody should be treated equally on a field.
Ferdinand says change can happen if everyone speaks out.
So I think everybody needs to come together and fight as a collective. And if we do that, football can be it's hard, but football could be the catalyst for change in society.
And that Dallas United player has not been publicly identified yet. It's also unknown if Dallas will be allowed to return to the tournament. Shelley Jackson, WRAL News, Cary.
UNC police are searching for a man who was reportedly peeping into a woman's restroom. Police released this photo of the suspect wearing a blue hoodie and black baseball cap and carrying a book bag with black straps. Authorities received 2 reports between 11 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. today of this man peeping into the woman's bathroom on the 3rd floor of Phillips Hall. Anyone with information is asked to call UNC police. A young mother from Maxton has been charged in connection with her 2-year-old daughter's drowning last month. The Robeson County Sheriff's Office arrested 26-year-old Shauna Locklear on charges of neglect and child abuse. The Sheriff's Office says deputies were called to a property for an unresponsive toddler being pulled from a pool. The toddler was taken to UNC Southeastern Medical Center but did not survive. Locklear is in custody with a $500,000 bond.
A Rocky Mount man is in critical condition after police say a 16-year-old girl working at a cookout restaurant shot him. Investigators say shortly after midnight, the teen got into an altercation with 19-year-old Tahaji Brown at the North Wesleyan Boulevard location. The employee is then accused of pulling out a gun and shooting Brown, who was taken to the hospital. Investigators say they're still working to determine whether the teen had the gun inside the restaurant during her shift. They also say she is a member of a gang. She's being charged with attempted murder and assault. Police say a Rocky Mount City employee was shocked while working today. It happened at Vance Street Homes housing development around 10 a.m. The worker has not been identified. It's unclear exactly how it happened or how the person is doing after that electrical shock. Tonight, Cary police have filed charges, we should say, in connection to what you're seeing here. This is a man breaking into a BMW at Waverly Place in Cary. They have issued a warrant now for Dustin Brown. He's 26 years old from Apex. He's facing 1 count of larceny from an auto. They say it's not clear if this man is the one connected to other break-ins that we have told you about, like the ones near hotels near RDU. Anyone who knows where Brown is should call police.
Fort Bragg is now Fort Liberty. The name officially changed this morning during a brief ceremony on post. 2 years ago, Congress ordered 9 military installations with names linked to the Confederacy to come up with new ones. Fort Liberty still has the same mission, units, and leaders. It's still the home of the Airborne and Special Operations Command. Lieutenant General Chris Donahue, the post commander, says Fort Liberty is more than just a name on a sign.
It's a community. It's veterans. It's members of the community. It's Gold Star, parents. It's active duty. It's all of you. That's all this was. We were given a mission. We accomplished that mission, and we made ourselves better.
Bragg Boulevard on post is now Liberty Trail. It's where a service member who made the ultimate sacrifice will be honored every day with a Sunset Liberty March. The first was held last night. Republican state lawmakers are once again considering changing our election laws. A bill filed this week would crack down on mail-in ballots, which became more popular during the pandemic. It would set the cutoff date for mail-in ballots on Election Day. Current laws gives ballots postmarked by Election Day a 3-day grace period. Lawmakers also want to require election officials to use special software to verify signatures on mail-in ballots. That process has caused problems in some other states. North Carolina Elections Director Karen Brinson Bell says the current law here is already more secure than in most states.
We have the attestation of 2 witnesses who are affirming under perjury of law that they are the voter that filled in that ballot. So there's lots of checks and balances.
Signature matching can be problematic for voters with disabilities and for senior citizens whose handwriting can change over time. Many states implemented it after 2020 when former President Donald Trump claimed election fraud was taking place through mail-in ballots. Lawmakers are expected to start debating that bill next week.
In a couple of weeks, Wake County will hold a memorial for a canine officer who was killed in the line of duty last week. Canine Santos was helping in an investigation off North Smithfield Road. Investigators tell us a Knightdale police officer accidentally fired a shot, hitting the dog. The canine later died at the NC State Veterinary Hospital. His memorial service will be held on June 14th at the Kerr Scott Building on the North Carolina Fairgrounds. The SPCA of Wake County is not taking in any new dogs after a litter of puppies was diagnosed with distemper. The puppies were brought in about a month ago. They appeared healthy and they were then vaccinated. But last week, 2 of the puppies were confirmed to have distemper. The SPCA notified previously adopted pup owners of that litter and then provided them the resources and care that they need. Canine intake will resume after a quarantine period ends.
Taking a live look at the downtown Raleigh skyline, the median price of a home in Wake County dropped slightly last month. New numbers the county released today show the median price of real estate went down $500 from $459,500 to a flat $459,000. The county says the decrease is from activity in the core market. Deed of trust activity increased 13% since April.
More people are buying them, but how ready is North Carolina for an influx of electric vehicles on the roads? We're going to take a look at a new analysis that checks out how our state stacks up against the rest of the nation coming up. Plus, a local company is going green, literally green. They're making building panels out of grass. How it works and how it helps the environment. Next.
Coming up right now on 7:14, President Joe Biden continued to speak from the Oval Office. This is his first speech from the Oval Office, this presidential address, talking about this debt ceiling deal, getting it done, talking about how he did so with Republicans and Democrats.
No one got everything they wanted, but the American people got what they needed. We averted an economic crisis, an economic collapse. We're cutting spending and bringing the deficits down at the same time. We're protecting important priorities from Social Security to Medicare to Medicaid to veterans to our transformational investments in infrastructure and clean energy.
And this address appears to be wrapping up right now. We'll continue to listen in and go through the meaning of all of this. Lasted just under 15 minutes, and the president there wrapping up that final few sentences talking about why this is such a big deal and a huge deal for his administration as well. Back to you.
You bet. We'll check back in with you, Mark. Thank you. Today, Raleigh police released some new information about a Cary couple charged with hitting and killing a 12-year-old girl.
The couple lived just 1 mile away from the crime scene. We're also learning just how difficult it was to find the suspect's car. WRAL's Chelsea Donovan has the new information from police.
Raleigh police stating today that this case likely could have gone cold if it wasn't for the public watching local news, leading them to a burned suspect vehicle more than an hour away.
I just want to say thank you to whoever put the tip in, because without you, we wouldn't be here right now.
For 6 months, solving 12-year-old Samantha Briggs' case has truly been trying to find a needle in a haystack.
There were very limited physical and video evidence.
After Briggs was hit and killed on Hillsborough Street the day after Thanksgiving, the only evidence was a tiny piece of white plastic off what appeared to be an older model Honda Civic.
With about 1,400 of those vehicles registered in Wake County alone, locating a suspect was a daunting task.
But investigators kept chipping away at the puzzle.
When the case went cold, they kept bringing it up.
That breakthrough came May the 12th when investigators conducted a checkpoint at the crash site to drum up new leads. 4 days later, the missing link.
We were provided a tip from a person who had seen the story on the news and had possible information about a white Honda Civic in Kittrell, North Carolina.
That tip led investigators to Lewisburg, where they found a charred Honda Civic like this one, matching the plastic they found 6 months prior. The vehicle registered to this couple who lived 1 mile away from the site of that hit and run. Blanca Escobar Roblero and Wilmer Roblero, charged yesterday in the crime and the cover-up. The husband and wife remain in the Wake County Detention Center. Raleigh police say there are possible charges pending for others who may be involved. Chelsea Donovan, WRAL News, Raleigh.
Investigators are looking for a man they say robbed a bank in Durham. Police released this picture of the suspect. He's accused of walking into a bank on South Miami Boulevard Wednesday afternoon and handing the teller a note demanding money. The banker gave the suspect cash. If you know who this person is, call Crime Stoppers.
Electric vehicles continue to rise in popularity among the U.S., and our state has taken a lot of steps to try and lead the way in that. There's a new analysis that finds North Carolina has the 21st best electric vehicle infrastructure in the nation. It looked at EV adoption, incentives, and charging stations in each state. In North Carolina, 0.7% of vehicles are electric.
The buildings that we live and work in are a major contributor to climate change. We're talking about 40% of greenhouse gas emissions globally. A company called Planted is hoping to grow a greener construction industry using grass instead of wood for panels in homes. The company has just expanded to an 80,000 square foot former tobacco facility in Oxford in Granville County. Founders say they've already secured contracts with local farmers to grow the raw material and are currently developing a pilot production line.
The reason why North Carolina was really appealing is because we can get the industrial side right next to the agricultural side. So we can build a plant right next to where we grow all the material, which is super important for our, CO2 sequestration rates.
Planted says it aims to make its building materials carbon negative and to have the production lineup up and running by the end of the year.
Hey, let's grow some houses. Tomorrow is going to give us a little bit of the cocktail we need for that. Sun during most of the day, a little bit of rain at night. Beautiful stuff out at Carolina Beach right now. Some people enjoying the shore. Meteorologist Kat Campbell with a more detailed look.
And, it's going to be a nice weekend to be outside. Finally, I can say that. It's been a while. Your Friday night planner looks pretty good tonight. Temperatures should be in the upper 70s at 8 o'clock. By 10 o'clock, lower 70s. If you're headed out and about, nice evening out there. Tomorrow is going to be hot. Prepare yourself. Hottest temperatures we have seen so far this year. 89 is our warming potential tomorrow. There will be plenty of sunshine, though, some clouds in the morning. And Sunday, we see a good temperature drop, 77 on Sunday under partly cloudy skies. And that's because we have a cold front pushing through tomorrow later in the day. And that cold front could bring, not only the drop in temperatures, but it's also likely to bring some rain with it as well. Let's see here if my remote has died. Let me go over and grab the clicker over here and we'll get moving along. As for rain chances hour by hour, thank you, Mike Mays, always on hand over here to help. As for our hour-by-hour rain chances tomorrow, we do have a small chance of a thunderstorm by the time we get to the evening hours. It's a 30% chance, mainly in the western part of our viewing area. We also have a lot going on in the Triangle. The Ben Bay Cultural Arts Festival happening tomorrow in Durham. Nice weather for the event. It's going to be hot out there. Make sure you've got a lot of water with you. By the time the event is wrapping up, that's when we have a better chance of a stray shower or storm in Durham. I would not expect any of that rain in Franklin County for the First Fruits Farm Memorial Balloon Festival. It's going to be hot, 89 degrees, just a light wind out there tomorrow. A little breezy, some gusts 15 to 20 miles per hour on Sunday, but not bad, 77 degrees out there as well. Futurecast tomorrow morning showing the potential for some low clouds and fog really from Raleigh points east. We'll watch that potential in the morning, but the rest of the day looking bright and sunny. Warm as well, 89. Here's some of those isolated showers and storms I was telling you about, mainly between about 5 and 10. And these would be on the western part of our viewing area. Some models have them staying west of our viewing area entirely, so that chance is small, and I don't think it's worth canceling any plans over. Sunday morning, we are waking up to cloud cover. It's a gray start to your Sunday, but improvements later on. The clouds begin to clear. It'll be cooler behind that front, as I had mentioned. Our 7-day forecast features mostly 80s. It's starting to look a lot more like June. The one exception comes on Sunday behind the cold front. So if you are not a fan of the big summer heat, enjoy those 70s while you can. They're not going to last for long. 77 degrees on Sunday. Next week, we're back in the mid to upper 80s to kick off the week, and many days next week will be in the 80s. The humidity, though, doesn't look terrible. That's the good news. It's going to feel like summer, but it can get a lot worse humidity-wise. So there's your snippet of good news to help us kind of gradually transition to the summer weather.
I'll take it. Thanks, Kat. Still ahead, we have your moment of awe for this Friday.
He loves this one. Some new adorable additions at a zoo near you. Details coming up.
Breaking right now at 7:24, rollover crash has an intersection shut down in Raleigh and Busy Road, Glenwood and Oberlin. Take a look. These are some photos viewer just sent in. You can see that red car right there, pretty banged up. So if you live in that area or you're heading home this evening, you could see those firefighters out there for quite some time while they clean that up. It's unclear right now what caused that crash or if there are any injuries, and if so, the extent. We'll let you know if we get any updates here in the Live Center. Back to you.
That does not look good. Thank you, Mark. The Special Olympics North Carolina Summer Games are back.
What a great event. Opening ceremony begins at NC State's Reynolds Coliseum in just a few minutes, so it's happening now. The final leg of the law enforcement torch run wrapped up this morning. Officers lit the torch after the final leg. The 5-mile relay was held at Carter Finley Stadium earlier today and finished up at the state capitol. Our Ken Smith is tonight's MC for the opening ceremony, so if you go out there, tell him hello.
The First Fruits Farm Memorial Balloon Festival is this weekend in Lewisburg.
You ever been up in a hot air balloon?
I have.
Ooh,
I have. It's very fun.
See, these ones are tethered, I think, if you're going to be going up with the kids. I don't trust anything without a steering wheel. But you know what? Enjoy it. They have carnival rides too, vendors, the air balloon rides, tethered, of course, and a balloon glow, which I'm sure is beautiful when the sun sets. This was scheduled for last weekend, you may remember, but it got moved because of the rain. So they picked a good weekend. You can also head to City Plaza tomorrow for Raleigh's International Food Festival.
The event will include more than 50 food trucks and a large outdoor dance party from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Admission is free.
Nice.
All right, there are more baby animals at the North Carolina Zoo. This time, it's the sand cats.
I'd never heard of a sand cat.
I hadn't either.
But now I'm in love with them. These are 3 sand cat kittens. They were born last month. They're just starting to explore their new home at the zoo's desert habitat. This is the first litter of kittens for the zoo of sand cats. They're gorgeous. And I think they're maybe the only animal that actually gets cuter as it gets older. Yeah, like the grown-ups are even cuter than the little kittens.
They are
there.
really cute.
They're going to have a poll soon to help name them as well, so enjoy that. The baby animal news doesn't stop there. This is Kiwi, a stingray pup at Greensboro Science Center.
I think this guy's a little cutie too. Also born early last month. Take a look at that.
He's cute.
Comparing the ray to the size of a banana. So it's actually a white spotted river ray. The Science Center says that she will grow a lot more in the months ahead.
I think that's good trivia too, that like a baby stingray is called a pup.
Very cute.
Who knew?
Yeah. Now you know.
Thanks for being with us tonight.
Have a great weekend. Our next newscast is at 10 and 11.
Keep watching WRAL News over the air Channel 34 and Spectrum Channel 1257.